Hi, my name is Richard and this is part 2 of my mpls VPN with OSPF, MP and MPBGP. Okay, in part 1 we set up the basic IP connectivity between router 1 and router 8. All the way from there, all the way to there. Now what we're going to do is set up the IGP, which is going to be OSPF. This is the example configuration of router 2. Zoom in a little bit on that. Okay. Well, let's dive in. Start with router 1 actually. I realise that as it's already got a loopback with the lowest IP address that I don't need the router ID. However, it makes me feel warm and fuzzy. Ooh, almost did a classic mistake then. Okay, let's jump on to router 2. Just before we do that, let's just check that the configuration looks okay. Seeing as it's my first go. Yeah, that looks alright, I think. Okay, router 2. Notice here I'm not bringing in Fast Ethernet 2 into OSPF or mpls because that's going to be facing the customer. Okay, and here's the real test. Bring it into router 3. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 networks to bring in here. You're going to see a few things here. You're going to see the OSPF adjacencies come up, but you're also going to see the LDP neighbours come up as well. The reason we haven't seen the LDP neighbours come up before is because when we enable the MPLS IP on each interface, it'll automatically pick the lowest IP address, which, as you know, once we went around and did the loopbacks, would have been the loopback address. So there would have been no direct path from the router's loopback address to the other router's loopback address. It's not until we bring in the IGP and then bring in the loopbacks with a 32-bit mask that actually the LDP adjacencies will actually come up. Okay, and I think we're going to see 2 here. That's fine. And let's see if I can remember. What does it show? mpls. There we go. Forgot the command there. Show mpls ldp then neighbors. You can see there it's got an LDP relationship with router 1 and a router 2, which is what we want. Okay. Let's do a... We pretty much know this is going to work, otherwise the adjacency would have come up, but doesn't hurt to double check. Okay, write that. Now let's go on to router 4. Okay. You've pretty much seen the most exciting one now. Only router 3 and router 6, but I admire you for sticking it out. Okay, what's the next network on router 4 we need to bring in? We need to bring in the network between router 4 and router 1. Then between router 4 and router 3. There we go, adjacency just come up. Are we going to see adjacency for that? Oh, we see the LDP come up for router 1. Haven't seen the adjacency come up yet for... Oh, there we go, we see the LDP come up. Okay, let's move on to router 6. It should be done between 3 and 4, so between 4 and 6. And then 4 and 7. Okay, we wouldn't expect anything to come up there. Okay, let's check our OSPF adjacencies. We've only got 1. Okay, we didn't see that second adjacency come up for router 3. Why is that? Let's have a look. Have we brought in the... Okay, we brought in the network between 3 and 4. That's fine, everything looks okay there. Let's put back onto router 3 again. Ah, can you see the problem there? We brought the network in here, but we haven't brought it in here. So let's see what happens. Which means, in a roundabout way, of course, the LDP adjacency came up between router 3 because he's hearing about it from router 1. So let's configure it how it should be. 34 between 3 and 4. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Now, tell you what we need to do before we exit that router. Always a good idea to write the config before you leave. Now, what networks have we got to bring in here? Let's bring in between 5 and 2. Okay, now what about between 3 and 5? Okay, then between 5 and 6. Ah, genius. What I need to do is, unfortunately, I've made a mistake. See if you can spot what it is when I'm taking off this configuration. That's better, we've got the adjacencies coming up now. Okay, 56 won't come up because we haven't been onto router 6 yet, and neither will the link for router 8. Here we go. Perfect. Now let's just check while we're here that we actually do have links all around. So that's to 2. That's to 3. Let's check we can get to 1. Okay, and then let's check to router 4. Super. Next one. Right as we leave, and then router 6. Okay, let's bring in the network to router 3 first. Then to 5. Then to 4. Then to 7. Of course, this is 6 to 7. And then 6 to 8. Again, the last two you won't see anything because they haven't been done yet. Okay. Show mpls LDP neighbors. So 1 to 3, that's right. Got another connection to 4, another connection to 5, and is that it? And there we go. Super. I'll just check connectivity to 1. Brill. Don't think I'm missing anything out. No, that looks good. Okay, next one. Router 7. Wow. My typing's getting sloppy. I need to bring the router ID in first. And then bring in the loopback. Then bring in the link between 7 and 4. Okay, then between 7 and 6. Okay, let's just wait for the LDP relationship to come up. Is it going to come up, or do we have to play around with it a little bit more? There we go. Let's just ping around a bit. Good. Good. We've already written once, so that's enough. Okay, now Okay, between router 8 and router 5 first. So 58. Let's try 68. Ah, made that mistake too many times. Okay, let's try 68. Super. LDP's up. And adjacency's up. Good. Good. Okay, let's write the changes. Okay, so there we go. We've got our just finished on router 8. We've done some testing. Looks to be good. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay. So what's next? We've got our mpls cloud up, if you like, and we've got our LDP protocol is what we're using to exchange mpls information. The next stage is BGP. I'd like to start in the middle of the cloud, actually. I want to start with router 3, router 4, and then 5 and 6. The reason I want to start in the middle is because the configuration is a little bit more complicated in the middle. You've got root reflector clients. In fact, that's about it, really. Say more complicated, it's just an extra command, but I want to start in the core and work out anyway. Okay, let's start with router 3. We know from this diagram, that's our AS number, so that's the one that we're going to be using. I could add the no-sync here, but I believe it's already added in my ISOS revision, but we'll see when we save the configuration. The most important command here is no BGP. Actually, they're all pretty important, but default. That'll stop BGP from enacting its normal behavior. Okay. It's me setting it so that it's going to the source IP address for the updates is going to be from the loopback address. Okay, let's do the next router. Which, if we're on 3, let's do it as router 1. Just using up there, saves on the. Okay. Need to bring 4 in as well. And we need to bring 5 in. We're basically setting it up so the core is ready to go. Okay, that's the first bit of the BGP configuration. And then what we have to do for each of the neighbours we've then defined, we have to activate it. We then have to send the extended community, and we then want to define it as a root reflector client. Okay, that's 2. Let's do the same for 1. Activate. Send community extended. And set it as a root reflector client. Okay, you need to do the same for 4 and 5. So neighbor 4, activate. Neighbor 4, send community extended. Guess what I didn't do? I send the community extended for root 4, but what I haven't done is add it as a root reflector client. Okay, now do the same for 5. Send community extended, just so you can see the extra options there. Spice it up a little bit if you like. Okay, 5. Okay, so are you ready to go? Let's have a look, shall we? So there's our OSPF, and here comes our BGP configuration. So we've set up our initial neighbours, told it that the update source is the loopback address. And we've told it that our neighbours are, because we're on router 3, remember, so router 1's a neighbour, 2, and then 4 and 5. We told it no BGP, default, IP version 4 unicast. And then for the address family, VPN version 4, we've got in here. We want to activate that neighbour, send the community extended, root reflector client, activate. Yep, that looks fine. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that looks good. Okay, right, one more time, and let's pop on to router 4. Again, it's going to be pretty much the same configuration. So if you want to skip ahead, I don't blame you. Although you might miss out something exciting, especially if I make a mistake. Okay, what are the neighbours for router 4? Well, router 1. Router 3. Router 6 and router 7. Router 6. Let's do the last one manually. Okay. Good. Now as you can see, we haven't yet seen, even though we've done that bit, we haven't yet seen the neighbor come up for BGP. Well, that's because it hasn't, when we entered in the no BGP default IP version 4 unicast, we're telling it that we actually don't want that behavior until we activate it, which we're going to do now. Okay, let's activate 1. Send community extended. Next one. Let's do 6. I want to leave out 3 for the moment because that's the most exciting one. Okay, router 6. And then router 7. Activate it. Send community extended. Root reflected client. Now we're going to do the most exciting one. Okay, we didn't see the adjacency bounce for sending the extended community. Let's see what happens with the root reflector. There we go, adjacency gets cleared when you change the client into a root reflector. Super duper, that's 4 done. And there you go, there's the adjacency back up again. Router 6. Oh, helps if you're in your configuration mode. Okay, let's configure the neighbours for 6, which is 4, 5, 7 and 8. Start with 4. Okay, let's do 5. Let's do 7. And let's do 8. Oh. Okay. As you can see, once again, adjacencies haven't come up. We may see 2 adjacencies come up here between 3 and 4. Oh, in fact, guess what we haven't added? We haven't added 3 in. Let's add 3 in now. We may need to go back to 3 and add 6 in. We want to add in 3. Okay, so we've added 4, 3, 5, 7 and 8. Okay, that's great. They won't actually work yet though till we bring them in under the address family VPN version 4 context. Okay, let's activate the neighbors. First neighbor. Let's leave the more exciting ones to the end, which is 4 and 3. Let's do 7, 8, and then let's do 5. Activate. Send community extended. Root reflector. Let's do 7 now. Send community extended. Root reflector client. Let's do 8 now. Activate. Send community extended. Root reflector client. Okay, now the exciting ones. Let's do 4. There we go. Now what's the next one? 3. Activated, send community extended, and root reflector. And I don't think that one's going to come up. Let's write the configuration. While it's writing, let's pop on to router 3 and just check whether we've brought in. I don't believe we have brought in the router 6. No, it's not there. Okay. Router, BGP 65101. What am I adding in here? First of all, I've got to add it in as a neighbor. And it's router 6. Yes, 65101. Okay, then I've got it under address family. Oh, what am I doing? Why am I doing 4? Should be 6, of course. That's better. And then should we watch it bounce as we define it as a root reflector? And there it goes. Now it comes back up again. Okay, so we've done 3, we've done 4, we've done 6, now we need to do 5. Okay, what's first? Set it up under the router BGP 65101. No BGP. Default IP version 4 unicast. Neighbor. Which ones are going to be your neighbors? So 2.2. You can update my loopback. Next one from 5. Let's pick 3 next. Okay, you can have another one to 6. Another one to 8. Okay, update the loopback. Okay, is that it? Okay, address family. Okay, first neighbor 2.2.2. Activate. We haven't been on 2 yet, so we're not expecting an adjacency from this. However, we will be expecting one from router 3 because we've been on to router 3. See if I can get the root reflector in before it comes up. Ah! Fail. There it goes down and it's going to come back up again. Okay, next one. Router 6. And again, we will be expecting an adjacency from this. So activate. See if we can do it. Send. Oh, I don't think I'm going to do it. No, it's up. Too quick for me. And then root reflector client. Down you go. And up you come again. There you go. And one more, which is to 8. Okay, send community extended, and then root reflector client. Okay, let's show the configuration there. That's done. So we got 2, 3, 6 and 8. And then we've activated 2, 3, 6 and 8. Although, hey, can I see a problem with that? I think I can. I haven't added 2 as a root reflector client. So let's do that now. The router, BGP 65101. Address family is that. And then it's which neighbor are we applying it to? 2.2.2.2, and we're defining that as a root reflector client. Exit, exit, and I'm going to exit one more time and then write. Okay, so save the configuration. Let's just have a look now. Yes, that's fine. And then 2, activate, extended, client, activate, extended client, activate, extended client. Good. Okay, now let's do a show IP BGP. And what do we want? I think we want, if I could spell neighbors. Okay, now that is normal because of course these aren't normal neighbor relationships. I just wanted to point that out. If you wanted a normal relationship, you'd change that to IP version 4 and then you'd see it. Okay, let's check our, might as well while we're here, never hurts. 2, 3 and 6. Okay, save it one more time. And that's basically the summary of the commands that we've done. That's an example of router 5. Okay, and part 3, which is going to be the last part, I believe, is going to be setting up the provider edge. We've just finished the core, and we're going to set up the provider edge. And I hope you see me for part 3.